good morning, Miramar, and welcome to the show. I'm your host, Tamara G. Don't forget, you can check us out on all of our social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at City of Miramar. And with us, we all know it's right here in Miramar. With me today, we have Enrique Ross. He is the owner of I Heart Mac and Cheese in Pembroke Pines. We're going to be talking with Enrique in just a minute. First of all, I have to give you a little bit of a backstory. So last week, Enrique delivered some food to my first job, which is on the radio at 101.5 Light FM. He delivered beautiful meals for me and Julie, my co-host. And when he came in, you know, as usual, we didn't think that he was the owner. We were like, oh, this is the delivery guy that's delivering for the owner. And so, you know, because he's just so young and he was so nice. But once we got to talking, we realized, no, we're talking to the owner. First of all, he's doing excellent customer service. And second of all, I just love the fact that he was such a young entrepreneur. So welcome to the show, Enrique.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And I have to tell you, I loved my mac and cheese. I had the buffalo chicken one. So you gave us a big enough pan, and I have two brothers here. It lasted one day. One day. So thank
That's
you
awesome.
for that.
Good to hear.
Yes, thank you for that. But the reason why I wanted to have you on the show was really you surprised me, you amazed me that you had such an entrepreneurial spirit at such a young age. Where do you think that comes from?
Well, where that comes from is definitely my parents. Both my parents are business owners. My mom owns her own hair salon, and my dad owns his own. My dad's owned multiple businesses. Right now, currently, he owns a security camera business. He puts a lot of cameras, home theaters, everything home surveillance wise he does. So yeah, when I was growing up, they've always had businesses. So I've always been motivated to have my own business when I was older. I never thought I'd have it this soon, but things fell on my plate, thankfully, and I was able to get this business myself.
That's amazing. And you talked about how you also worked in this biz too, because you actually worked for the company before you became a franchisee, right?
This was actually one of my first jobs. I had like minor jobs before this. So I was 16 when I got this job. I'm 20 now. I was 16. I was like, just turned 16. I got the job. It was, in my opinion, as a 16-year-old, I was like, it's easy, it's paying decently. Mm-hmm. I'm just in school, high school. Let me just work. And I was just working, and I got the hang of it. And next thing you know, I was there for 1 year and then 2 years, and I turned 18. They're like, immediately once I turned 18, they made me a shift leader. Because I couldn't be a shift leader when I was under 18. So they always wanted me to make me a shift leader since day one, but they couldn't. But when the moment I turned 18, they trained me to become a shift leader. And then that was here in the Pembroke Pines location I started. Then I moved to Davie. I got a little promotion to Davie still as a shift leader, but I got a little raise and everything. I went to Davie. The owners there are amazing. I worked with them. They taught me so much than I did before. I learned so much from them. And then after a couple months with them, they made me their assistant manager for their store, for Davie store and the Coral Springs location.
Wow.
So I was working both those stores on and off, helping them. They taught me in the right place. And then the store closer to me they had to close down. They relocated. They didn't close down. They relocated further away. I didn't want to make that drive from Pines to over there. So I was ready to just start another career, do this. But they offered me the Pembroke Pines location with great deals, great everything. I'm so grateful for everything they've done for me.
That's amazing. That story alone says so much about, number one, who you are, Enrique, as a person, but also how easy it is for young people to succeed, and with just hard work and being someone that people can count on. You started this job when you were 16. You say you're 20 now, and now you're a franchise owner. Did that ever come into your mind when you were 16, or was it just after you learned the business that you were like, you know what, I could probably own one of these?
It was when I was 16, probably not as much. It was when I was getting older as a shift leader, when I was understanding more of the managerial process and all the background stuff. Because as a team member, I wasn't really focused on that. I was just customers, clean the store, that. Right. But once I started becoming a shift leader, I learned a lot more with ordering truck, payroll, and all that stuff. And once I got the hang of it, I was like, yeah, I could run this thing. I always thought I could run it. I'm like, I could always run one of these.
That's
And now I was able to get this. It was amazing.
amazing that I Heart Mac and Cheese was willing to give a franchisee as young as you a chance to do their store. And for those who aren't familiar with I Heart Mac and Cheese, they literally make everything with mac and cheese. Like,
yeah, we do mac and cheese, grilled cheese sandwiches. We do healthy bowls, vegan options, dairy-free options, gluten-free options, all different options for everybody.
right. But if you are a mac and cheese fan, this is where you need to be. So Julie got the mac and cheese with the chicken parm with the red sauce, and she loved it along with her son, Bobby. I told you I got the buffalo chicken one. And I mean, but you guys do any and all types of mac and cheese, whether it's just plain mac and cheese or you can add a protein to it, right?
Mm-hmm. We have plain mac and cheese all the way up to lobster mac and cheese. Different proteins, crispy chicken, grilled chicken, bacon, pepperoni, ground beef, and we have crazy amount of vegetables that you can choose from as well.
Right. So listen, if you're, like I said, if you're a mac and cheese lover, this is the place to be. If speaking of the place to be, if you're just now tuning in, I'm Tamara G, your host, and we are talking with Enrique Ross. He is the franchise owner of the I Heart Mac and Cheese in Pembroke Pines. Where's the location, Enrique? So we can take
It's right off Pembroke Pines Boulevard in Dykes in the Regal Plaza, the Regal Westward Plaza.
Okay.
Right there next to Wingstop and Crumble, right? We're all in one building.
Okay, I know exactly where you are, and you're right, where the movie theater is, right there.
Yeah, right there.
At Pines and Dykes. So when you decided to go into this franchise, was there any thought to possibly doing another one? I know, just in my past, first of all, McDonald's was my first job. So you learn so much about customer service, about how to treat people, the product itself. So I know that's what you learned. And since then, I've thought about possibly owning a McDonald's. I've thought about possibly owning a Chick-fil-A, because really franchisees is what makes America work. That's why you have a fast food restaurant on every corner, because people are owners.
Mm-hmm. So I do think about opening other stores, but especially right now, I started back in June as the owner of this location. I was so it hasn't been a full year yet, so I'm trying to just learn everything as much as I can right now in this first full year, because I have a lot of pressure. I'm also a full-time student at FIU.
Okay, you're doing the most, Enrique. You really are. What are you studying?
I'm a business analytics.
Okay, so I'm sure for your thesis or for your class project, you're gonna make an A on it, because you can just talk about being a business owner here. But this was another reason why, in case you're just tuning in, why Enrique, just made me feel so good about wanting to interview him, and so proud of him. Full-time student, franchisee owner, and so young. In case you're just tuning in, he just told us he's 20 years old. I don't think most people, and particularly most young people, are not thinking of future like that. Or are they? Maybe I'm not right in saying that. Your friends, what do they want to do? I know a lot of people don't want to go work for anyone. I know that's the younger generation.
I agree. Like, not a lot of people my age, some people do think about the future, but some people think about it more and take more action. Because I have some friends that I love their vision. Their vision's amazing, but then they're still doing their same day-to-day routine. It's you have to always one step where you think you're doing. You always have to do one thing better, one step better. Always be one step ahead, one step better also.
Okay.
Always try learning from your mistakes also.
Absolutely. Well, and I was going to say, and what advice would you give someone out there who is looking to go into business for themselves? It doesn't necessarily have to be a franchisee. I have two young men that come and they actually wash my car. When I tell you, I was blown away by them. They had like a full service mobile detailing. Look, you had to go online and do your appointment. You can't just call them or send a text. Everything was pretty computerized, and they knew where they were going to be from 1 hour to the next. And I was just like, wow. So this is what the young folks are doing out there.
Yeah, young folks are definitely using technology to their advantage, which is great. I love the technology, how it works and how it's helping lives. But some advice is don't give up. it's hard, especially trying to find, if you're doing like a service business, like a car wash, customer base advertisement is the main thing. You always need to be advertising, always. You can never stop, because you stop a little bit, you can see the difference.
Okay.
You can never really stop or never give up, because it is hard. You're gonna feel unmotivated sometimes. You're not gonna feel like wanting to do it, because of course, I've had doubts sometimes, especially in the first couple of months. I'm like, this is a lot. Like, I was working every day, like nonstop.
Mhm.
I still kind of am, with employee shortages everywhere, but um, it's
But
just,
let's
you
talk
can't give
about
up.
that. Let's talk about that, Enrique, because as the owner, you do have to step in sometimes and have to fill that gap. Obviously, we've been talking for months now about how there's a lack of employees, or it's hard to find people. But I mean, that's what an owner would have to do. You'd have to get in there and start making the mac and cheese, or start serving on the counter, or cleaning tables, correct?
Yeah, I've been here since day one of June. Like, I have not stopped. I've had a couple of days off once in a while,
Mhm.
Thanksgiving, like little one day, but yeah, you always have to be working. Not always, sorry, but especially with the shortage right now, like my employees, the managers, like finding experienced workers is very hard right now. Everyone that comes in, if they do apply, is young kids, which I get. This is a young kid business. No one wants, like, no one old, not sorry, no one older is gonna that comes to apply for this team member job.
Mhm. Well, you know what? And I would caution you that if they do, to possibly look at them too, because
Oh
um,
no, of course, I always do.
yeah, because the recession that happened less than 10 years ago, there were people who had MBAs, there were people who had doctorates, and they wanted to work. They didn't really care what the work
Yeah,
was,
most definitely.
what people think of them. They were like, look, I need to work. And so, yeah, you had people who had doctorates who, were working in fast food, or were working at Walmart, or wherever. Because if people are willing to work, I think, we should definitely give them a chance. That's how I feel.
Oh no, most that I look at every application I get. Very thorough too.
Yeah, absolutely. And so with that, as give us some of the challenges besides that one, learn, trying to find people to work, and in this work shortage or whatever we have going on, what would be maybe one or two other things that you are having to deal with on an owner management basis, that maybe people who are looking to go into owning their own business need to be concerned about?
Time. Time is your friend. You need to use it very wisely. You can't waste it. Wasting time. I've always said time is money, and I think that's the biggest thing ever, because thinking about it is just so serious. Because wasting time is just a waste of life. And like, my goal is to get as big as possible so I can live my life to the fullest when I'm a little older.
I love that. Okay, so that's one thing about
Mhm.
time. Watch your time management. We talked about the work shortage, and then what would be something else? What would be something good that you would tell someone who goes into business for themselves as far as being an entrepreneur?
Besides being able to make your own schedule, um, um, is it's like the freedom, I guess. Like not like schedule wise, but overall, like freedom. Like, it just feels like yours. You're not working for somebody. It's just you. You're running it. You have things the way you like it, and that's one thing I like. Like, I have the store organized to my likings, all that stuff. So I'm very
Yes,
neat freak. So
I was just about to say, Enrique, I see up there on the shelf, everything is neat, it's in its place. Don't y'all mess with it. No, that's great.
I keep the store very clean.
Good. And
I'm very OCD like that.
And let me tell you, that's something that people look for. I have gone into restrooms or gone into restaurants, and I have come out and asked to speak to the manager on both ways, but particularly when it's clean and when it's nice, I give them their props. You all are keeping a clean store. I see the restrooms are clean. And then when they need help, if there's floor papers all over the floor, paper towels and toilet tissue, or if something needs cleaning, I'll come out and say, hey, y'all might want to look at, check the bathrooms, or you need some more soap. You need some more soap
Yeah.
when we run out of soap. I'm that kind of person, and I'm not doing it to be mean or anything, but if you don't know, if you're back behind the
No,
counter,
of course.
Right. And
I love when customers do that, because especially with the bathrooms.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're running around with customers. We don't have time to go always go check them. Like they might be fine in the morning, but in the afternoon they like sorting out.
Right.
So yeah, we appreciate those people.
That's amazing. And so now I noticed that you did not pick Miramar as a selection. You're very close though. You're at Pines and Dykes, so very close to Miramar. But what made you decide to choose that location? Well, I know that you were working with the family that owned it at one time, right?
I was working with the one in Davie. They were a franchise owned, but they also worked with corporate a lot. They were together, so I had a connection with everyone. The main owner is Steve. His name's Steve.
Mm-hmm.
He's the main owner of all mac and cheeses.
Okay.
But what was the question again?
The question was why did you choose that location in Pembroke Pines?
One, it's closer to me. And two, this is the one they offered me. This is the most southest one in Florida.
Okay, awesome. Another thing that you just mentioned, for those who are, watching and want to know about entrepreneurship and how did Enrique do this at such a young age of 20, you just mentioned something. You said, I knew people all over. I knew the people who were.
Oh yeah, that's another thing.
Yes, I knew people who owned. Get involved. Don't just come to work every day, right?
Mm-hmm. You need to have connections. Connections is very big. Connections find your way in, get you good deals, get you good connections, get you good everything. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for being with us today. So once again, Enrique Ross, he is the owner of the I Heart Mac and Cheese. You heard me right. The owner of the I Heart Mac and Cheese in Pembroke Pines. It's in West Pines at the corner of Dykes and Pines, right there at the Regal Theater in that plaza right there. You cannot miss him. Go and support him. What hours are you open, Enrique?
So Sunday through Thursdays, we are open from 11 to 10. And Fridays and Saturdays, we open at 11 and close at 11.
Perfect. So you can get your mac and cheese on all day and all night. Again, Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 10. So just in time for lunch. And then, of course, on Fridays and Saturdays, they're open from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. I Heart Mac and Cheese at the corner of Pines and Dykes in West Pembroke Pines. Go and support him. He is doing some great things. And I'm hoping by watching this that people will be inspired to go on to their way of entrepreneurship, whatever that may be. Maybe they want to become a franchise owner of some establishment, or if they want to do their own business. But whatever you do, definitely do it just like Enrique is doing it. And that is to the best of your ability, and make those connections, hard work. He is a testament. And thank you. Thank you for showing that young people are doing some great things here. Everything's not bad about young people. You guys are doing some great things here in our community and just in the world in general.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Enrique. And thank you for watching Good Morning Miramar. Until next time, I'm Tamara G.